So, hi everybody, my name is Alex, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the Islamic Center that's being built in New York City. So what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to take one hand and put it above your eyes, because I'm asking you guys a few questions. So just put your one hand over your head. All right, leave one hand open. All right, so who knows about this cultural center that I'm talking about? Raise your hand. All right, well, the thing is that this cultural center, keep that cultural center is built in, it's going to be built in New York, and it's going to be built 2 blocks away from where the World Trade Center used to be, where the Twin Towers used to be. Now that you know this, how many of you guys object to this? All right, and how many of you guys think this should be allowed? All right, now you guys can put your hands down. Okay, so as I mentioned before, this the Islamic Culture Center is basically going to be pretty much that. It's going to be a facility for Islamic members of the New York community that is around where the World Trade Center used to be. The problem is that it is going to be 2 blocks away from where the World Trade Center used to be, and there's going to be some people, as you can see right now, who object to this.
It got the unanimous approval of the community board.
Yes.
The people who live down there.
Well,
how does this become your business?
Well, it's not my business, it's America's business.
Pamela Geller is a key figure in all of this. She is the Islamic Center's most ardent opponent. Geller is a former New York media executive who writes a politically far-right blog that mixes news, opinion, and conspiracy theories.
Alright, so as you can see, she wasn't too happy about it, and she didn't really know that much information about the start off. And her name is Pamela Geller. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because all of us were impacted one way or another by the attacks of September 11th. Either directly or indirectly, we were affected by it. And the consequences of those actions are still seen today. As you saw, people are still debating about this, and it's still hard feelings for people around the world. And I could relate to this because when I went to Hawaii one time with my sister, we were driving and we were passing Pearl Harbor, and I asked her, hey, can we go stop by Pearl Harbor really quick? I've never been there before. She's like, no, I don't want to go there. And I asked her why not. She's like, because whenever I go there, there's people that look at me weird because I'm of Japanese descent. And there's actually a few times when people come up there, it's like, why are you here? Your people are responsible for what happened here. And in a way, the people of Islamic faith or Middle Eastern descent get this kind of treatment whenever things like this are brought up. So the main point of my speech, my persuasive speech today, is to tell you guys that this should be allowed. That this culture should be allowed to be built. Because one, and there's 3 reasons why. First off, I explain to you guys what the culture is and why it should be allowed. Second of all, I'm going to explain to you guys why it's unfair to categorize the Islamic people into this image of being villains and terrorists when they're not. And third of all, I'm explaining to you guys how if we allow this to happen, it's going to be shown as a sign of healing and maturity as us, not as a people, but as a nation. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to my first point. As I explained, the Islamic culture is going to be 2 blocks away from where the World Trade Center used to stand, and it's going to have a facility such as swimming pools, culture center, speaking rooms, and a worship center. Now, even though it has been approved by the city of New York, there's still people who oppose it, such as sorry about that. Phil Watson of the Los Angeles Times wrote on January 27, 2011 that there was this one protester named Amy Pina who said, you want to come here, not obey our laws, then you could just turn around and go home. The problem with the statement is that these people that want to do this are United States citizens, and they have every right to build this. They were legally approved to do this, and they should not be allowed. They should not be stopped from doing so. Now I'm going to move on to my second point. People, as I mentioned before, people tend to categorize the Islamic people and people of Middle Eastern heritage as terrorists based on the actions of a few people. This is not true. Okay, I understand that events such as 9/11 and Pearl Harbor do have that effect on people. We're like, okay, because this group of people did it, we're going to blame the whole people, because that's how we are here as nature. We want to feel that emotional security where we're like, okay, we can now, we have this thing, we have this group that we can blame, we can blame this on, and that's not fair. And it's not fair because Islam is not a terrorist religion. It is a peaceful religion. It is not any more terroristic than a Christian faith or a Jewish faith. And Karen Barker, who wrote an article titled Islam and Tolerance, Studying the Ottoman Imperial Model in 2005, and I quote her in saying, even though Christianity and Judaism have also accommodated extremist ideologies, it seems that the modern context puts the onus or the pressure on Islam to prove that the religion can be tolerant. This is hypocritical. What she's saying is that basically it's hypocritical for people of other faiths to put the pressure on these people to prove that they're not terrorists because these other faiths also have extremist groups such as the KKK and other extremist groups. Now I'm going to move on to my third point, which is what we can build as a people if we allow this to happen. First off, we can mature in not holding these people, the Islam people, accountable for for the actions of a few individuals. It's like we're going to show that we're maturing as a nation, and if we allow this to occur, an opposition once stated, if we allow this to occur, this will be a sign for the terrorists to show that they won, that they conquered us. It is going to be a sign, but it's not going to be that sign. It's going to be a sign that show that that we're healing as a nation, and that we're saying, yes, we're still affected by what happened. We will not blame a whole group of people for what these individuals did, because that is not who we are as Americans. That is not what we believe in. And in a website called The Nation, which focuses on news from Pakistan, there was an article written on January 21st, 2011, that talked about one of the founders of this cultural center named Iman. He actually went to families of victims of the 9/11 attacks who lived nearby, who objected to this at first, and he talked to them, and he came back and reported that they all, once they understood what was going on, they actually approved of it. And what I'm saying here is that if people who were directly affected by the September 11th attacks, can understand and open up and reach out and approve of something like this to occur near a World Trade Center, why can't we do it? Why can't we do it as a people? So in conclusion, I'm going to go over my main point, which is basically that this cultural center should be allowed. I went over what it is and why it's controversial. I went over how it's unfair to put the blame on Islamic people and people of the Middle Eastern heritage. And I went over how we can grow and mature as a nation if we allow this to occur. Now, I'm not saying that we can directly impact what's going on, because it has been approved and will be constructed. But what I'm saying is that we can learn from this. We can learn to not only coexist with people who we don't like or don't understand, we can learn to just coexist. And that's why we're here. We're here to learn to coexist with each other. Thank you very much.